So let's go ahead and check over the ledger, look at a few categories, and see exactly which countries are in power as of right now. So let's go ahead and check over development. This is my personal favorite category to look at whenever I'm trying to figure out exactly how powerful a certain nation is. So we have Qing here at number 1 with 997 developments. The Russians not too far behind, but almost 100 points back in terms of development, but they've got a lot of opportunities to expand. As well as, remember, they do have a vassal that they could easily annex. We already saw Qing annex Korea in probably the first or second video. So, I mean, Russia could be really soon to annexing their vassal too. USA is surprised to see them so high on this list. I know they don't control, obviously, their kind of modern territory that we're all used to, but this will only gain more and more power. So we might see a very, very quick rise to power with the Americans, especially as they continue to move westward and take out the Native Americans. We have Great Britain, which I think that ultimately this development number should be going down. I don't see it really getting much higher. I mean, I don't know. You never know, because they might be colonizing at the same time. The thing is, I haven't really seen them colonize too much. I'm kind of doing their own thing, just fighting their own battles. I mean, for the most part, they've been pretty successful at stopping the massive amount of wars they start off the Victorian era with. I think they've only maybe lost a handful of provinces, which isn't bad at all. The Ottomans, I'm surprised I don't see them higher. We will ultimately see them way higher, because I don't think this accounts for all the vassals they have. They've got 3 vassals: Tripoli, Egypt, and Yemen, which is wow. And they haven't even, they're not even done. I know they're going to go to war with Naj. I know they're probably going to try to test the waters with Greece or Austria. So we'll see. But I'm really watching the Ottomans quite quickly, and I'm very interested to see quite quickly. I don't know why I use that. I'm watching the Ottomans with a close eye, because I know that they'll quickly rise to power. There you go. Mexico, not too far behind in North America. We've got revolutionary France. Newfoundland, that's pretty high on the list, but they are not an independent country just yet. But if they were, they'd be very high on this list, I should say. Egypt, Peru, Brazil. Wow, technically Peru has more development than Brazil. Not sure if that's going to be that might last for much longer. In terms of Europeans, we've got France, and then we have Austria and Spain pretty far below, then Prussia way down here. Actually, the Netherlands have more development than Prussia. That's shocking. Anyways, let's go and check in on technologies. Number 1 in technology, we have Argentina, Greece, the Papal State, and Mexico. That is very interesting. Wow. All right. This doesn't necessarily mean much. I mean, all the other nations aren't too far behind, so it's not really saying a whole lot, but it's still saying something. Most nations already have all 84 ideas that they can unlock at this point here. Power projection, we've got Bolivia, Punjab, Peru, Venezuela, a lot of different nations. This power projection doesn't really matter as much. In terms of score, now score is really up and down. You can't necessarily, see, look at this. Right now, revolutionary France is highest in score. I don't know about this score system, man. I don't know about it. Military rank first, diplomatic rank, administrative rank. I mean, they're first in a lot of different categories, but still, that's mainly dealing with technology, I believe. I don't know. So you can't really consider score all that much. We will skip over religion and all these other categories. I am looking for now, going back, well, I guess it might be interesting to look at the world's greatest leaders. Right now, it is Omani, East Africa. That is cool. He's got 18 overall pips. That is amazing. Holy crap. Way ahead of everybody else. Here we go. Army size. Excuse me. So force limit is at 223. Still by Qing. It does look like Russia might have dropped a little bit from the last time we checked. I think Qing started off at 209. I think because of their acquisition of the Korean Peninsula, this is really helping them out a bit. We've got the USA, and then the Ottomans, Mexico, pretty much the same as development. That's why I look at development, because it tells us the overall story. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump into this. So, like I said, there hasn't been, the British, that's like the big story. The big story of this series has been the British so far, and how they're able to fight off all these wars. They really haven't lost that much territory. I mean, they have, but they haven't lost that much territory, at least in terms of India. They've held on to a lot. I know that, and technically, actually, they're winning these wars somehow. Oh no, now they're losing. Well, they started off winning. It must have been because those wars had just popped up. So if any of these nations, so I'm pretty sure just every nation that didn't have a truce with the British at that moment decided to jump in all at the same time. Sind, Punjab has actually, they do border Great Britain. I'm surprised that they're not willing to go to war. I don't know how powerful they are. They've got a 19 stack. They've got to be one of the strongest. Although this region of India is not obviously as powerful as some of the southern provinces down south here. Obviously, ooh, Naj not doing good with Naji peasants. Is that how you pronounce it? Not Naji peasants. They've got a 1K stack, trying their best to kind of stop things and slow the progress down. But I mean, that's only going to be able to help out for so much. How is Greece staying alive? Greece has no alliances. Why aren't the Ottomans going after Greece? I don't understand that. Ooh. Whoa. Look at this. So for some reason Spain is not, I don't know what's going on here. I'm very confused. Why isn't Spain, oh my gosh, they're losing their battles. For some reason Spain is no leader, and even though they might have more regiments, they've got no leader. This guy has 5 fire, 2 shock, and 2 maneuver, which means that he can cross over rivers, not technically take a penalty. Oh, they actually won that. All right, well, this might have been the first battle they've won in a while. Great Britain does still control Gibraltar, something to keep in mind. UPCA might lose this since they don't have an admiral out there. It's actually very likely. Maybe not. They might reinforce, actually. Wait a second, what's going on here? Oh yeah, Spain will win. I was going to be really surprised if Spain didn't win that. I mean, the UPCA they're not too far behind technology, so I guess it's not super surprising. It shouldn't be really surprising. This is not like 1444 start of EU4. I completely forgot about the British's control over Belize, and is that Mosquito? Is that Mosquito? I don't know. Who is going to colonize these remaining provinces in South America? That's another big new kind of thing that I'm concerned with, because this is where a lot of Brazil's power, I mean, Brazil just doesn't look as powerful as they did previously in previous campaigns. Bolivia looks massive. They've got to be dealing with Argentina, which Argentina is going to be able to colonize some lands to the south. I guess Chile could also too, but Argentina has an alliance with Peru and the UPCA. But is Brazil still allied to Mexico? Yes, they are. So that's a big deal. But the USA, I mean, even though they might be powerful, they don't have friends. They do not have friends. Oh yeah, Newfoundland hates the USA, and so does Mexico. So the USA really is kind of skating on thin ice here. They've got to be super careful with what they decide to do, who they decide to support in wars, and the Europeans as well. I mean, the Europeans might be going after some of this stuff too. That's interesting. I like this window here popping up. Yeah, no, that's crazy. Okay, let's check in on the current wars tab here. So we have Japan continuing to unite the Japanese mainland. Oman at war with Mombasa. Had no idea that Oman had kind of regions colonized themselves too. I mean, they're not colonial. They're not colonized regions. These are not colonies, I don't believe. Or are they? Oh my gosh, they are. Oman has been colonizing. Well, good for them. I had no idea. Wow. Okay, well, that's cool. Mombasa's doing a really, really good job, though. Will Oman send over regiments? Is this them there? Is this... No? Well, they still have to deal with Omani Somaliland. We also have Ethiopia at the same time. Well, this is crazy because we've got other nations, independent supported by the Ottomans. Ethiopia has 2... Is this a separate Ethiopia? Yes. No, that is a part of... That Ethiopia is their overlord, it looks like. Maybe, or maybe not. No. Whoever this country is... So this might be kind of the same deal that we're seeing from Oman. Somebody from the Middle East or the Arabian Peninsula is colonizing Eastern Africa. Who is this? The Egyptians. The Egyptians decided to colonize the inner Arabian province here. I figured somebody was going to do it. Of course it was going to be the Ottomans, because, who else is going to do something like that? The Ottomans are going to be very, very aggressive. I cannot believe we haven't seen a war start up in Southeast Asia. Or maybe there has been, but they've been very minor from what I've seen so far. Harar, calf. Norway's not doing very well against Denmark. Actually, is Denmark on Norwegian territory? No, they're not. They've got a few blockades that's really helping them out right here, though. But they haven't landed inside of kind of Norway territory. Mecklenburg. The British are down to only 2 more wars that they're fighting, and I think they're losing them. These are just, again, smaller nations in India. Bremen. Yeah, no, nothing too big at the moment. A lot of smaller nations starting to get eaten up. I think we're going to see kind of a blobbing effect for probably the remaining part of this video. Oh my gosh, and the colonization has begun. So since a lot of the world has stabled out, I think most Europeans feel comfortable with colonizing once again. And the Netherlands, for instance. Like Portugal, like we just saw. Oh man, Africa's going to be tough to choose. Africa is going to be a very, very, very tough one to kind of predict here. Okay, so Spain is pieced out to UPCA, and obviously Juana is back under control of their Spanish overlords. Who's Haiti allied to? Spain. It might not be too surprising if Spain were to annex Haiti. Maybe vassalize them and then annex them. It's possible, right? Who else do we have? We've got Denmark in the Caribbean. I didn't realize that. Wow. Revolutionary France. Okay, that seems all about the same. The British took away quite a bit from Venezuela during that war. They definitely done goofed. The Venezuelans did. Well, actually, they didn't done goof. I think it was worth the risk. The problem is I don't think they expected the British to actually send over troops. I figured, well, the Venezuelans probably figured, they're probably not going to send over anything. They're dealing with all these wars. No, it was pretty messed up, but they just got the unlucky part there. They were the unlucky nation that got chosen by the British AI to actually try to fight against. Ecuador looks pretty massive. Also allied to the UPCA. Is Mexico going to go after some of these Native American provinces up north here? I mean, that'd be an easy way to kind of progress. They could also colonize. Ooh. So Mexico's at war with Portugal. Oh, this is a big one. Oh, whoa. What happened? What the... Oh, and we also have the Egyptian War for Independence. All right, so... So, there we go. So, the Portuguese-Angolian War for Independence. So, Portugal has Mexico and Brazil on their side. The problem is Qing Oman, obviously all the Omani colonies, as well as all the Portuguese... actually, no. So, all the Portuguese colonies have also equally declared their independence, which is going to make things really, really tough. But all technically Portugal has to do is go to Angola and just slap them around a little bit. Now, where is Portuguese Angola? It's not there. It's all the way... Yes, there it is. Yeah, this is not going to go well. So even though they might have Qing on their side, what's Qing going to do? Qing is not going to, I don't think, get involved and send over a navy with regiments over towards this region. There's no way. I don't think. Fighting some rebels here. Madagascar has formed, but they don't have control over their island just yet. Revolutionary France out this way. Okay, so let's look at this. Egypt and the Ottomans. This is the big deal, especially because the Egyptians did not wait until Tripoli or Yemen also had equally high liberty desire. They decided to do it on their own, which means that they're fighting 3 fronts. The Ottomans to the north, the Yemen to the south, and Tripoli as well to the west. As well as now they're fighting rebels, Tunisian separatists. Why would you do that? Why would you engage Tunisian separatists? I don't get that. And the Ottomans, yeah, the Ottomans are going to really, really shake Egypt. They're in for a very rude awakening. So that liberty desire is going to go way down. I think the Ottomans have pretty much solidified their control over the Egyptians, I think. Yeah. Yep. So that's going to be bad. Especially because the Ottomans are dealing with a whole bunch of different continents. I mean, you're talking about a lot of different regions all equally kind of getting more and more scared, I guess you could say. Austria, for instance. Ooh, wait, what's going on here? Do we have Russia at war? Ooh. So, wait a second. Did Egypt supported the independence? I'm sorry, the Russians supported the independence, which means that the Russians might be attacking from the north to the Ottomans. Oh my goodness. Oh, dang, that's bad. Is there anything else that's going on? No, nothing much. Okay, so wait a second. This might not be as one-sided as we thought. So the Ottomans are obviously going after Egyptian territory, which is probably smart. Now, the Russians have a huge force, much larger than the Russians have a much larger force than the Ottomans themselves. Somehow, wait a second. So the Ottomans also called in Prussia because they're allied to Prussia. Oh my gosh, the Ottomans somehow allied themselves to Prussia. I can't help but to think that the Prussians are kind of, I don't know, traitors here, right? I mean, as a European, aren't you supposed to not like the Ottomans? I don't know. That is crazy. Ooh, Morocco's not having a fun time against these reactionaries. Yeah, that's not too good. All right, so pretty much all... So, I don't know. Prussia's not that powerful, though. That's something to keep in mind. So the Egyptians might be distracted by dealing with two different fronts. Oh, this is massive. I think the Ottomans are going to stop the Egyptians just by acquiring enough Egyptian territory. I think that's going to force them to stop. Although the Egyptians just occupied all of Tripoli, they're sending over a 45 stack, which is all they really have anymore. And they're going after the Ottomans, who are at 48 stack and the 52 stack. The Russians are attacking from the north, kind of in the Armenian region. But now the Russians are realizing, oh crap, I've got to go after Prussia, which they are. So what they're going to do is probably peace out with Prussia, force Prussia to peace out separately, and then go after the Ottomans. That's when things would get interesting. The problem is the Ottomans will probably have Egyptian dealt with by then. Now, the good thing for the Russians is that they have the opportunity to kind of build up. I mean, they've got a bigger force than the Ottomans. So yeah, that's probably a smart move by the AI from Russia, is let the Ottomans control Egypt. Well, I don't know, because you're still ultimately going to lose the war. If the Ottomans control enough territory from Egypt, then it doesn't matter how much Russia does. I mean, I guess unless Russia absolutely dominates, unoccupies all this territory in Egypt, then starts to push deeper into Ottoman territory. I don't know. So, yeah, I mean, the Egyptians obviously lost the first battle that they engaged with the Ottomans. They've been pushed way back. The Ottomans suffering from a lot of attrition down here now. Probably not too much. Actually, maybe. I mean, that's a big stack to be just sending around through the deserts of Egypt. I don't know if they should be doing that. Did they separate? Yeah, they did. So there's a 50 stack dealing with the Egyptians, which is smart, and now they're unoccupying the Russians' progress here. All right, so Russia's kicking Prussia's ass, and they will probably meet here, the Ottomans, but by that, man, I don't know. I mean, what's the score like? The Egyptians only at -2. We are seeing a Southeast Asian war for the first time. Punjab expanding their territory. Ooh, that's a big one too. That is a big one. Portuguese Angola, I'm already anticipating they're not going to win that, so that's why I'm not really focused in on that war too much. But I'm very curious to see how Punjab is going to do here. Will they be successful? It looks like they won the first battle, and they're going to progress into this territory west. That might be interesting to see. It just a very massive Punjab. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.